can see, she's dismantled now, and you can see the gap underneath, and also the gap for the silencer in the cowl. So that's more than enough, I think, to carry the 5S 3000 battery. Obviously the glow attachment's got to come off. So the CG is about 65mm back from that filler. Now the engine down here, then the total on that, if I can just get my piece of paper, the engine on that is, now here comes the mathematics, you see, this is where this was all fall apart. Now the engine is 404 grams, and its, shall we say, centre of moment sits at about 70 millimetres ahead of the firewall, plus the 65, so it's 135 millimetres from the CG. 404 grams, which gives me a moment of 54,540. Now the muffler is 126 grams, and that sits back, obviously the centre of gravity of the muffler sits back from the engine, and I would say about 45 millimetres in front of the firewall, plus the 65 gives me 110 millimetres in front of CG, which gives me a moment of 13,860. The tank is a 10 fluid ounce tank. Reckon it's probably about 250 grams when it's full and everything. That sits, its centre is about 70 mils back from the firewall. So 70, 65, that's minus 5, so let's call that 0. So the total of the engine, muffler and tank is about 780 grams at a resolution of 68,400 moment in front of the CFG. Okay, the 4250 800 kV engine I've got, which hang on, let me get that. You can see my collection there. Right, let's, yeah, I'm a real messy person. Right, here we go. It goes to 4250. It's never heard of these before, but I'll give it a try. Kneebrook or something. 4250 800 kV. It's nicely made. It reminds me of of a couple of more expensive motors that I've actually fitted into models. It's got a beefy shaft, and it feels, actually, it's quite heavy. It feels good. So, and then you've got the various bits and pieces, the shaft adapter and so on. So taking the weight of that motor with its shaft adapter and so on comes out at 228 grams, with a CFG, when it's fitted into a box, would come out about 170 in front of the CFG, which makes it 38,760 moment. Now the 5S 3000 is 369 grams, with a possibly about 60 in front of the CFG, which gives me 22,140. I'll use a 70 amp ESC to make sure I've got a good overhead, which is 81 grams, sitting at about 65 in front of the CFG, which gives me 55,265. So that gives me an overall of 66,162. Now if we take the prop distance, which is 125 millimeters from the firewall to the back of the prop. That's 190 to the CFG. So anyway, the working it out, CFG is 65 back from the firewall. So if we say the resolution 68,400 and 66,162 is reference to the firewall, or reference to the CFG, we're looking at a 33 gram correction at the firewall if we fit these parts in that position. I hope you've kept up with the mathematics on that. It's one of those things that should work but probably won't. But anyway, at least we should be in the ballpark with sitting that 5S underneath the firewall there. All I've got to do is make sure I can get a strap fitted there to hold it up. So that's going to be one of the things to do. So anyway, yeah, I think we're going to get there. It's a really nice model. It's just a shame that the Irvine was so temperamental that I never enjoyed flying it. So it never really it's you're always waiting for the engine to cut out on it. It played some horrible games. Yeah, the other thing of course is that she will lose the receiver battery pack in her, which that comes out. I did have a wait for that. I've got a 4-cell somewhere similar. Oi, treading on everything here. Right, okay, let's go. Right, so we're going to lose 124 grams basically just behind the CFG. So I think by the time we've done this, we should actually end up with the model balanced with the battery and the 4250 in her. And given the way this thing flies, I'm hoping that I should be able to get a reasonable runtime on a 3000 battery. So yeah, right, that's it. Let's crack on.